Alrighty, welcome, mediocre ass D2 player of Vadu here. So today I'm going to be talking about the issue with trials. The main one that is causing some issues with how trials is performing. So, week 1, brand new trials, brand new loot, yada yada yada. Bunch of people are playing. 750k people played. Over 5 matches per player, so the player retention was great. On top of that, about 230,000 people went flawless, I believe, so about 30% of the population, which is actually really good. Of course, sweats are bitching and moaning that apparently it's too easy, and the absolute shitters with like 0.5 KDs are complaining that they're losing. Yeah, you're gonna lose if you suck. I know. Mind-blowing. Obviously, I think a protected bracket is a great idea. If you're losing several matches in a row, you face other people who are also struggling. That's perfectly fine. So when they implemented that into week 2, that was a good change. I think that is a good one that should stay in the game. However, back to week 1, not only is there a new loot system that provides plenty of loot that you can focus, there's also a good map, Burnout, and a good adept weapon, Osiris Wrath, which a lot of people want to get as it's a very popular weapon. It's very good. It performs like an AR, but it's an SMG, and it has kill clip. So it can be an absolute monster. Very good weapon. People are obviously going to want to play, trying to go flawless to get one. Week 1, success. Week 2, let's make changes. Let's completely change the matchmaking. What is Bungie thinking? Why would you make a change after such a successful week? You can add the protected bracket. I think that's just a safe bet. You know, if you're losing a few games, you get protection, face other people who are also struggling. That is a fine change. But for anyone decent enough to go flawless, you know, once or twice from week 1, they're completely screwed over in week 2. Keep in mind, there are also issues that you can exploit this system, carry a bunch of people who are obviously much worse than you, because you're only facing other people who aren't flawless, and then you can finally get your 1 or 2 flawlesses on Monday, and just enjoy farming stats and absolutely duking on people who barely know how to play the game, who are just trying to farm some loot. But this also provides another issue with making this change. Player retention went to shit. Also, awful map, and Reed's Regret is not as popular as a weapon as Shiura's, although it is a new adept weapon, and there can be some pretty good roles for PvE. I don't think it has the same incentive or the drive to get as Shiura's Wrath, as I don't think it's as popular. So we've got a different map, a different adept weapon, and a different matchmaking system for week 2. So week 1 data for player retention, yada yada yada, that goes straight out your ass. Because the issue is, the player retention of week 1 could have been good if they had kept the same system in for week 2. It might have not been as good. The reason being a different map and a different weapon, and maybe people from week 1 would have been sick of that matchmaking in week 2, so they wouldn't have played. But then, after week 2, they see the player retention went to shit. People who went flawless once would basically quit. They partially revert and compromise and make more changes to trials. Week 3, I like the way they implemented the flawless player pool. I think it was actually good. I was able to go flawless several times, and I still enjoyed myself, even on Sunday and Monday. However, they also added a zone to trials. The map was Wormhaven, which is arguably the worst trials map. I don't really see too many people vouching for it, you know, saying it's a good map to play. And the adept weapon was Igneous Hammer, which 120s, they're still good. There are a lot of top tier players who know how to utilize them. I don't think they're as meta anymore. They're still good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that Igneous, once again, is as popular of a weapon to grind for. So basically what I'm saying is I think Bungie should wait a few weeks before they start to implement changes, as they can actually get meaningful data that goes through several map and several adept weapon rotations. So Bungie can see if it's just the weapon or the map that's a good incentive to play, or if they've actually got a good system and player retention is good. So yeah, that's basically the video. I think if Bungie would just take their time with these changes, slowly implement them, Bungie can make meaningful changes and healthy changes to the playlist that help, hopefully everyone. So those are my thoughts. Essentially, I think Bungie is changing too much too quickly, and I think that they should slow down, get meaningful data with changes, and then implement more changes if they feel they need to. I'm gonna go beat my dick with sandpaper now. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.